Okay, it's February, it's cold, it is muddy, really muddy. We're in the UK, it's the third lockdown. Hopefully we get to find out what's going to happen to us in the next few weeks to see when we're allowed out a little bit more. But for now, we get our daily exercise, and it's a great opportunity for me to show you what our beautiful country has to offer. I've had so many people interested in beekeeping over the last few months that I thought it's about time that I did some videos, and will eventually show you my bees. But for now, what I'm looking out for is obviously buds, pollen, different flowers. It's the 22nd or so, and I want to show you a few things. First off is a catkin. A catkin is like a flower about this long. I'm just coming up to one now that I'm going to show you. It is a type of flower, and it looks like this. Okay, so what we have here is we have the male Hazel catkin. This has probably been out for a few months now, so I actually did see some of these in the end of December. So it is now February, so they have been on there for quite a while, and they've now started to come to the end of their life. But essentially what it is a cap, loads of caps with the pollen sits underneath so it doesn't get washed away. Next to it, we have the female. So on the same tree, we have the male and female flower. So they don't pollinate each other. They are pollinated by the wind, so they would pollinate other trees around here. But what you can see here is a little red flower on the end of the bud. Bees generally, it's not their job to pollinate these, but there is pollen for them. This really supports the bees that are emerging this time of year. So I've got a flower that actually signifies spring to me, and that's what I'm kind of hunting out for today. If I find one, I will show you. Snowdrops are great for the bees early on. Their early flower in the deep dark winter months gives another lifeline to the bees. They contain minimum pollen and nectar, but anything this time of year supports the colony's development coming into spring. However, many snowdrops do not support the bees due to the human cultivation. Us making them more pleasing to the eye, changing the flower over a period of time, has had an impact on the bees' access to the flower and the nectar and pollen inside. Of course, this is problematic for the bees, otherwise they don't get the resources they need so early on in spring. Another pollen and nectar source for bees this early on is the crocus. Crocus are part of the iris family and come in a variety of different colours. They shoot up just after the snowdrops flower, giving time for the bees to use both. As you can see in this video, the honeybees are working the crocus, and some of them have pollen all over them. A few days after the bee attends the crocus, the fertilisation process for the plant is complete. The flower will then die off, and the plant withers down to start the season again next year. For me, dandelions are the sign of spring.
I know there's going to be beekeepers out there and other people going, no, it's definitely not. But in my opinion, when I see these, I always think, yes, spring's around the corner. You know, the deep yellow flower really cuts through everything else that's growing. These are fantastic for bees, and they contain a significant amount of pollen and nectar. And because of their vast quantities that pop out of the ground this time of year, it makes it a great first feed for the bees. Dandelions get really bad press, and as you'll see on most weed killer, they'll be plastered on the front. They're not, they're actually a flower, and each flower contains little stems. These are all individual flowers containing over 100 flowers. Unfortunately, because of these pesticides, many bees die, as you'll see in this picture.
This is a dead honeybee. She has dandelion pollen on her legs. Her tongue is sticking out, which suggests that the dandelion that she went on was covered in something, like a pesticide. It's a great shame, and many bees die this way, so please think about what you're spraying on the dandelions this time of year.
But my true feeling about the dandelion is the fact that my mentor said to me once that as soon as you see the dandelion, your bees have survived winter. Whether that's true or not, I can't say, but all my bees have survived in the last year, so hopefully it's the same for this year.